In this video, I'm going to replace the factory metal fenders on my Engwe M20 e-bike with these upgraded plastic fenders that I sourced online. A link to these fenders is above and also in the description. These fenders are a much needed upgrade over the metal ones. The metal ones are susceptible to scratching, bending, and also make a lot of noise when you're on a gravel road. So these plastic fenders should be a big upgrade. So let's get started on the install. I have the bike flipped over so I can get easy access to the front and rear fenders. I'm going to remove the factory fenders and install the new upgraded fenders. I'm going to be using a 5mm hex that retains the front fender. Just loosen those up. Alright, remove the last bolt on the bottom here, or on the top of the fork. Going to need a 10mm wrench on the back. Take the old metal fender. Okay, before I install the new fender, I'm going to put this back bracket on. This back bracket slides over the back here. You're going to need this little plastic tab that goes on the outside, and then this little metal piece that retains on the inside. The nice thing about this new fender is I like that it has black supports. Everything on the bike is black, unlike the stock ones which have the silver metal brackets. Alright, I got my back support bracket here, and I'm ready to slide it on the fender. I'm going to try putting the tab in front of the fork carryover. So I'm going to slide this in like this, and I'm going to just set it there. And I am going to use the new hardware. I like it better because it's all black like the rest of the bike. So I'm going to go ahead and use that. So I'm going to stick this bolt through. I'm going to use this fat nut that came with the bike just as like a giant spacer to kind of tighten it up, and then put the nut on the back here. Put that on there. For now, I'm just going to leave that finger tight, and then I'm going to go and install the bolts on the side supports, kind of get everything adjusted before I go and tighten everything down. Just going to do it like finger tight on everything, make sure it looks good for alignment. Looks pretty good. I'm going to tighten that down. Wow, big improvement. They're also a little bit wider. The other ones are made, it looks like, for about 3-inch wide tires. These are really made for 4-inch tires. So these are definitely going to look a lot better. Now this one kind of sets the height. If you want it really tight to the fender or move it outward, I like it nice and tight. So I'm going to raise it as close to the tire as possible. Really looks good. Now let's move to the back. Alright, in order to remove the rear fender, you use the 5mm to remove the standoff supports. But we have 2 bolts that are here within the wheel well, so I don't really feel like removing the tire. So what I'm going to try to do is deflate the tire to give me a little bit of space to get a wrench in there and be able to remove this bolt, and then there is another bolt in there. Alright, so I'm going to deflate this tire to give me a little bit of space. So I got the tire deflated. I'm going to be using a 4mm wrench. I could try to get it in here, see, and push the tire back. That's a little tedious. But I have this little nifty socket wrench that holds the hex keys on. So that should make it a little easier. If needed, you might have to loosen these bolts and kind of slide the rear wheel back. But I think I can get it this way. Alright, I'm going to save these bolts and reuse them on the new fender because they're very specific size and they're nice and short. Now getting into this one here, may be a little tedious, but I get in there. All right, after some time, I got this bolt out. It took a little bit. Might be quicker to remove the rear tire. And now I'm gonna go remove these rear supports. Slide the old one out. I'm going to use the old fender and line this up like that. And I'm going to drill a new hole in that and use this as a template. Okay, I drilled the new hole in the new fender. I did slot it a little bit, so it gives me a little bit of adjustability. Now I can go ahead and slide that up here like this and get that situated. I'm going to loosely put on this bolt and these back supports and then secure this one in the middle. Alright, bring this support up. I'm going to use the existing hardware. The other bolts are significantly longer. I do like them because they're black, but just going to leave that a little bit loose. And I'm going to install this side. Leave that a little bit loose. Now I have the fun part of getting down here, spot on the frame. I guess you could try going without, but I'm worried that it's going to rattle on the frame. So I'm going to attempt to put this bolt in. Alright, I was able to get this bolt in. I really had to cram my hand in here. It'd probably be easier, like I said, to take the wheel off, but I was able to get that bolt tightened. Now I'm going to go ahead and tighten all these down. I'm going to add some air to the tire and then flip it back over. But the upgraded fenders on the Engwe M20 look great. They're plastic, so no more noise like the metal ones. They're not susceptible to scratching or denting. They are wider. They meet the size of the tire much better. They look a lot better with the black supports. And this one in the rear extends a little further than the stock or factory ones. It really looks well on this bike. I'm really happy with the results. I hope that you liked this video. Subscribe to my channel, and thanks for watching.